You're doing great. You're doing great.
Okay, I sit in Ray Chase's seat. You have to do Ray Chase's voice. Hey, it's me, Ray Chase.
It's not on.
It does say, Ray, it's me. I'm flashy. I'm Ray Chase.
Fancy. Flashy.
Thank you. Yes.
So we have someone who crashed our panel. Welcome, Zeno Robinson. We're going to start off the panel by asking a question directed right at Zach.
Scared. What did you eat for breakfast?
I had...
Dang.
Nothing. I had breakfast. I had nothing.
Sorry, what was your question?
It's been the BusyCon. It is totally okay. Okay, so Tanjiro is very sincere and compassionate, and that makes him very unique. When you're filming or recording, how do you strike a balance between the dramatic combat sequences and his tender moments?
Oh wow, that's a great question. You know, I think he's just a very dynamic character. So it is tricky, right? Because you want to make it sound, you want to make those like innocent moments sound like just really special and have that compassion come through in his voice. And it's tricky because, you know, when you're doing the screaming and then you go back into being very soft, I try to save the screaming as much as I can for the very end. And I'm talking even about like the battle efforts too. Because for me, I think doing like that, that's what gets to my throat. Not the like, not just like a full power scream, but it's those grunts that you have to like.
And you gotta do a lot of breathing too. Huh?
That's right, I do the breathing as well. Like,
I remember Steve, our director, would always talk to me. He's like, "Oh, poor Zach. I saw him almost pass out from trying to hold a really long breath." Because then Tanjiro would go like, "Shh," for like 20 seconds.
Yeah. I think it's interesting for sure, but I do my best to like really drive it home when we have those soft, like, you know, tender moments, or when he's like, "Nezuko, everything's gonna be okay." You know, like just really trying to like nail it in.
That's why you got hired.
Oh, I love that. That was beautiful.
Kokoro.
Tanjiro has come a long way. We're very, very proud of him. Which Demon Slayer moment required the most to get perfect? So for you to perfect that moment, and why was it either funny or difficult for you?
Okay, so we all know that when we watch like sort of like somebody getting a little bit crazy, that the Japanese voice actor ends up putting this kind of maniacal sort of heady voice that they add to it. So the tricky thing for me in the very last episode is that Muzan's been here the whole time. He just sort of lives here. And then I listened to the Japanese ref when he's starting to lose it, like with Tamayo and stuff, and he's kind of doing this sort of thing, right? And I'm like, how on earth do I incorporate that into what I've established for Muzan? So you can hear a little bit of it. I didn't go as far as the Japanese because it just wouldn't make any sense, but I did, in order to honor the Japanese performance, I tried to add a little bit of that. So in that last episode, you can hear hints of like crazy eyes, but it was still Muzan.
It was like cool crazy eyes.
It was, mellow crazy eyes.
Shaggy Scooby-Doo crazy eyes.
That was the hardest thing for me.
I've been waiting so long to do Genya stuff that like when it came time to do it, I think I like was really particular about kind of everything. But I think the thing that was like, I think the thing I wanted to be most specific about was differentiating between like Genya's like his standard gruff voice, and then there's demon gruffer sort of kind of voice thing going on. So like getting the Genya's demon mode correct while still not making him too one note was like something I had to really be mindful of when we were recording.
My favorite part was when he was like, "I ate the demon."
I was like, what? What? He was like, I hate demons, just so you know.
This is a hobby.
Yeah, just, you know, there's a knife and a fork and maybe a demon finger. Wrong show.
For me, when we were first establishing the character, it was super tough because, you know, I've never walked into a booth and had the entire script be in capital letters. So I was like, well, that's something. And the first time we did it, I remember it was like we took 7 hours for the first episode that Zenitsu ever appears in because we were so particular about it. And back then I was like, yeah, he just sounds just like that. It was super, super tough to just lay down that groundwork. And now it's been like 5 years since we've done it. Really.
Wow.
It's been a long time. So now it's kind of just like, turning on and off a light switch. And it's much easier now. But I remember, I think with everybody in the beginning, we're all very picky about how we sound and stuff like that. But I know the person who has to record the most lines.
It's me.
You have to record like a whole encyclopedia.
It's a monologue. I feel like that's kind of the thing with Tanjiro, right?
He's like the type of character who talks to himself when he goes to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I gotta make sure there's no toilet paper.
I really gotta go. Wait.
Tanjiro, don't make eye contact with the guy next to you.
I'm supposed to stand right next to him, right? Even if there's 10 stalls open.
That's true friendship.
Wait, why am I wet? I know, this could go so many bad places. What was the question? What is the hardest, like,
what did you, what moments did you,
what moments do I what?
what moments did you feel like you needed to perfect, whether they were funny or difficult?
Oh, wow. Oh, geez. There's so many. I mean, for me, I think the moments that I always hyper focus on are just those like intense fight scenes. The one with Hantengu at the very end of the Swordsmith Village was one I was thinking about for a long time. I'm like, oh wow, like, how do I like do this? And then there's the whole scene with Nezuko and like the crying, and I'm like, okay. And it's so over the top, right? Like he's just like the way that he cries, like it's very loud, it's very over the top, and I'm like, okay, how do I bring this down and make it like I want it to be over the top, but also sound grounded at the same time. And then, that was coming off of like the fight scene and the screams. And like I said, I like to jump around if I can to save my voice. But I think on that scene for that episode, I think I just went all the way through and I did the screaming, and that kind of put me in the zone to like feel the emotion. And I love listening to the music. I don't know if you guys are the same. Like,
That's essential.
Yeah, like, you need to hear the music. Can you guys like make sure the track is on? Because sometimes like there are shows I've worked on where it's just muted. I'm like, can I hear the music like while we're doing this so I can get a feel for the scene? And then it puts me into the emotion. I'm like, okay, let's do it. As we go.
That's how you're
And that was the
recording.
scene.
Yeah, as he's crying, he's singing the song lyrics.
Wow, that was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for that. Find a question for you, Zeno.
I'm super Ray Chase, by the way.
Like, thank you so much for joining us. Genya has this strong, silent edge. What do you think he would actually do for fun if he let his guard down?
I think he would like cooking. That's really funny now that I think about that. Can't say cooking?
Cooking?
Yeah, make him a nice demon stew.
You're all about eating demons.
I think, especially because his whole thing is he has a really special digestive system. So every one of the demon slayers sort of has this thing with a sense, right? So like while Tanjiro's is smell and Zenitsu's is hearing, Genya's is taste. And it leads into the digestive system. So I think like if he actually let his guard down, he'd probably be like an excellent cook.
Cooking. What would be his favorite dish, though?
Favorite dish that's not a demon? I'm sure demons don't taste great.
Like Gordon Ramsay's.
Yeah. Dear Gordon Ramsay. Like on Twitter.
He's like making a TikTok. This one's for Gordon Ramsay.
Please review my food. I think he could make a pretty decent like curry. Yeah. See, curry's good.
You're making me hungry.
Yeah, I make myself hungry.
No.
I'm so with it. Like demon Gordon Ramsay. And
He's there, he's like, you see a demon, he's like, what the fuck?
Exactly. His blood demon art's just like verbally berating the demon slayer. Like, my feelings are so hurt.
The demon's like, you know what, man, I don't even want to fight anymore.
Yeah, it's just hurtful.
You all could create a demon based off of your darkest fear. What would it look like?
Like as people, our darkest fear?
Yes.
Mine would be a crowd of people.
The crowd of people demon.
The crowd of people demon. It's one demon, but it's like people that are conjoined together,
Right.
the whole crowd. And they come up to me and they're like, excuse me, are you free right now?
Is your name Aleks Lee? Are you?
Mine would be a demon that comes up and tells you have a test that you've not studied for.
Oh no.
Because the one recurring nightmare that I've had my whole life that I still get literally like once a month, which makes me so mad because it's very upsetting, is that I'm back in college and I realize I have a test that I've not studied for. Like I literally haven't been to the class for the entire half of the semester and I have to go and take a test. It's very stressful.
That's horrifying.
It is.
That is very scary.
But it's always nice to wake up and realize I have no responsibilities.
Right, as an adult, we have no responsibility. Nothing to worry about as an adult, that's all.
I thought I had responsibilities today. Thank God I'm an adult.
All I needed to be alright. Never mind, I'm all good. What are you thinking?
I don't know. Yeah, my greatest fear.
What
Probably
is your greatest fear?
Just
Just to know, just so I can have it.
Just curious. No.
Just curious.
No ulterior motive here.
Well, I mean, it's kind of already been done in a way. The
Wow.
show.
Yeah.
I don't like spiders. I'm not a fan of spiders. It'd be like that big freaking spider from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Like when he goes into the forest.
Yeah.
Dude, that thing is. Yeah.
So it's already in the show.
Yeah, it's kind of already in the show. It's
I don't know. The black void non-existence demon.
What is that? What is
oh,
that?
like sensory deprivation.
Yeah,
like,
just
nothing.
like absolute nothingness.
Ooh.
Would he be in the shape of like a house and then you'd have to enter?
Yeah, and then the house is formless. It's just like space.
So wait a second. Okay, so I've met a few people recently. So you have like a fear of death and the unknown.
I have a fear of non-existence.
Right.
I don't necessarily fear death. I fear non-existence.
Yeah,
I think that's terrifying.
And there's a word for it. I don't know, but apparently this is a pretty common thing that people have. It's like, and I don't get it. I've never understood it because to me, like death is like the ultimate nap. Like you literally have no responsibility after that.
This guy's all about no responsibility.
I've talked to folks who feel the way you do, and it's like even thinking of before you were born that you didn't exist. That's terrifying.
That's also scary.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's pretty.
I'm not in a judgment way. I'm just like I don't get
That's
it.
like existential dread.
Yeah.
Me, I'm more so.
Existential dread demon.
That's what it is.
Thank you so much.
It's a very handy addition to the show.
I was just gonna be like, I'm scared of like a really big fish or something like that.
No, that's another. I think that's my biggest fear is being in. What is it called when you're like in open water and you're worried about like the megalodon coming and killing?
I fear
No,
sharks.
man, I'm scared of that too. Not like a giant creature. Just like
Oh, just something you just have never
and
seen
you
before.
look underneath and it's
man.
Like you are a
Sharknado.
little grain of sand like in the middle of. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Like,
well,
you're in the-
in a way, all of our fears are kind of connected.
Yeah, that'd be terrible.
Although I would rather get eaten by the big monster than just like get tired and drown. Like, out in the middle of
I thought you were gonna say I'd rather get eaten by the big monster than find out I had a test.
That they have a responsibility that day.
Muzan has a frightening and mysterious nature. What makes playing such a strong antagonist so enjoyable for you?
I think because, and I've said this before, the thing that I really connect with Muzan is that we all, I think, go through life with hardships when it comes to, when I was young, I grew up in sort of like a primarily Caucasian neighborhood, and I was one of the only minorities around. And you know, kids, I mean, they don't necessarily treat you all that great when you look different and all that kind of stuff. So I felt very outcast and sort of ostracized as a young person. So when Muzan has his whole arc where he's sick and he's looking at everybody else having fun, he sort of feels out of it. And kind of the feelings of not only like sadness, but anger that come out of that is something that's very personal to me, because that's kind of a big scar from my childhood. And so playing Muzan allows me to kind of indulge some of the negative energy that I still hold inside as much as I try to let it go. And kind of release it in a therapeutic way, because it comes from a very authentic place. And I'm like, well, if I'm going to be scarred, I may as well entertain somebody with it.
Yeah.
And so putting it into the show and really putting all of that energy into the show is it feels good for me.
Yeah.
Oh, that was beautiful. Thank you so much.
Your favorite line and favorite episode from any of the seasons?
Ooh, okay. Favorite lines and favorite episodes. Should we go?
Nezuko!
Alright, so what episode was that from?
Every single one.
Favorite lines?
So far, right now, one of my favorite lines is it's in one of the, what's it called, the after.
Yeah.
What is that called? The post show.
Oh,
yeah.
oh my gosh.
The
Taisho's Secret.
Taisho's Secret. It's with Tanjiro and Genya, and he's like, "We're friends. Remember we shared the hot spring together?" And he's like, "We're not friends."
We're bestest friends.
Yeah.
Oh my god! And here I thought we could bond together in our nakedness.
We're not friends.
Mine used to be when I was cursing Akaza out as little boy Muzan. And I would say, "Why do you exist if your sole purpose has become to disappoint me?"
Dang. I'm crying.
But I think I have a new favorite from this last episode, where I get to say, "I'll massacre every last one of you before sunrise!" That's a fun one.
My favorite one, and I tell every show, you get one of this.
You get one
every show. Alright? It's fun. This is from episode 11 when Zenitsu first shows up and he meets Inosuke for the first time. And he goes, "It's a monster!" That's my favorite one. Thank you.
I have a question. So, a lot of your characters have you guys being very rough with your voices. What do you guys usually do to like maintain that and not completely just ruin your voices when you have to do such intense scenes?
That's our secret. We always ruin
Yeah. The voice just gets ruined.
Well, there are some preventative measures that we can take beforehand. Like one of the big ones for me recording this character is that I like to, usually an anime session lasts 4 hours long, a day. And for this character in particular, I was like, let's cut it down to 2 hours. So we only do 2 hours of Zenitsu a day. And then I also drink they have like 7 water bottles there, and every take I just take
Instead of the water bottle, it's the Ninja bottle. I just bring the whole thing, and I drink it straight. Yeah, just drink it straight.
I remember, so like Steve Bloom, right?
Yeah.
He played one of the demons in episode 12, I think. And I remember, like out of the blue, I'd never interacted with him before. I just took a picture of my bottle, and I was like, "Oh, drink all of this for Zenitsu today." And out of nowhere, never interacted with this man before. He's a legend, I love him. He just comments on my tweet, and he's just like, "That will give you the runs." I'm like, "Thank you, Steve."
It is.
Thank you for
Pretty
the
effective
advice.
diuretic.
For some people.
For some people.
But I was like, well, then this is my first interaction.
Yeah, that's very funny.
That's my only interaction.
A funny warning.
It come out in the late 90s, early 2000s, and if it was dubbed by 4Kids Entertainment, wouldn't have gotten the localization Asian treatment. Do any of you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
People, come on, show me.
100%. Yeah. All the gore would be removed.
Right.
Tanjiro would be named Tanner.
Zenitsu would be Zane.
My name is Tanner Slayer, and I'm part of the Demon Slayer.
Muzan would be Michael.
We all know the rice, but the rice balls will become people. Come on.
Yeah, the rice ball donuts, the jelly
I would
donuts.
pay to see that.
Same actually. I wonder if the cast would.
This needs to happen.
Yeah, I want this.
There would be no demon slaying, it would be demon training.
Yeah.
So every time they meet a demon, they're like, we're just training,
Demon
right?
Fighter. It would be called Demon
Just
Fighter.
train demons.
Yeah.
When Tanjiro kills them, he would be like, you're taking a nap, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'll see you later.
I put that demon to sleep.
He's not dead, he's just gone to heaven.
Very good.
He's not dead. He's just gone to heaven. It's so funny.
Question was, what was your favorite blooper that you did?
Favorite
Blooper.
Like if you messed up a line.
I'm like, I take it way too seriously whenever I'm recording. So usually when people mess up, they would say something funny. Yeah, so whenever I mess up, it's actually really tense for everybody in the room because I mess up. I'm like, again, one more time.
Yeah.
One more time. I get so angry. I'm like,
Is it just screaming every line? That's impossible to have.
no, yeah, it was just like it gets your blood level up, and then they would play for me, and then Bryce would like leave a blooper for me, and I listen to the scene. He's like, I can smell my own farts.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, I remember there was a scene that I recorded, and Bryce had left me something that I can't repeat on this panel. It was hilarious though, because they left the volume like at max. They didn't turn it down in my headphones. Like the levels weren't adjusted. So everything else was like low level. Like I hear the music, you know, I'm about to say my like heartfelt line, you know, like we gotta get out of here. And then all of a sudden I hear he comes in with his laugh and he says something very bad. I don't remember what I don't really remember a whole lot of my bloopers.
Anything for you, Greg, or are you also locked in when you're recording?
I think what happens with me, like busted takes are I'm very foul-mouthed, and I generally just drop a string of F-bombs if I mess up a line. And it sounds like Muzan like stubbed his toe really bad because I just start cursing. So
I feel like this is our table is the no fun table.
Yeah,
we all just take it
too serious.
yeah, it's always very.
That's Bryce. Bryce has the best.
Yeah, right.
He does.
Bryce, but Diskin has fun, you know.
Yeah. Thank you.
You could voice act any character from a different anime. What character would you voice act?
Oh wow.
That's a tough one because usually a lot of shows that I watch, I'm just like the person who they got is already doing such a good job.
Yeah. It's always like this question always like, that's my peer, that's my friend, they're doing great. So it's a tough one to be like, I would voice their guy.
Maybe a show that hasn't been dubbed yet.
It's not dubbed. Is there a show that's like not dubbed?
Fate Zero. Who did Grant George voice in Fate Zero?
Lancer.
Lancer.
Yeah.
That I would love to do that. But Fate Zero is a very special anime because it's what inspired me to actually want to do anime as a voice actor. So,
I remember watching that like before the dub was announced and really wanted to play Shira.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Genya is so cool. I want to play Shira so bad.
That's a really tough one.
It's a toughie.
I seen a show called Banana Fish.
Banana
I don't think that one has a dub.
That's not dub yet.
That'd be a cool show to do.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Anything for you?
I'm trying to think. I don't know.
There's a show called.
It's hard when you're in all of them.
Yeah, right? It's such a big problem.
It's not an anime, but I hope in the future, at some point, I have a chance to be a part of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Avatar's an anime. That's
You can be a cabbage descendant.
I would love to be one of the cabbage man's descendants.
Oh, you know what you can be? You know those people from like overseas that come over with like new products and new merch?
Yeah.
You can be your own version of cabbage.
merchant.
You can be like a potato man or something.
Yeah. Get your potatoes here!
That's great. Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
So my question is, what type of music do you think the characters that you play would listen to?
That's a very good question. Why don't we start with Greg?
Muzan, definitely smooth jazz. A lot of Kenny G. Like when he's mixing chemicals and stuff, he just wants to like rely. Yeah, Kenny G and Genya, basically.
Not Michael Jackson.
Not
Perfect Michael Jackson opportunity.
I think he would hate, just because he has such a big ego, he would hate any music with like any voice in it. Because he's like, I could sing better.
Definitely just heavy metal.
You think so?
Heavy.
I thought he would be like a sweet boy. You know?
He is a sweet boy, but he's got a lot of issues, and heavy metal is a way to process.
He's a troubled sweet boy.
Yeah, troubled sweet guy.
I was always saying that I think Zenitsu would totally listen to one of those like K-pop girl groups. He wouldn't even care about the music all that much. He'd just like watch the MVs and collect all their trading cards.
That is so funny. Wow, I don't know. Maybe just classical music or something. You know, like
I feel like
makes sense. I could see.
Tanjiro would listen. He would like to listen to ballads. Probably.
Yeah. No, he's just like.
You think Tanjiro would listen to Miami?
Listen to what?
I said Will Smith.
He'd be like, what kind of music is this? It's kind of good.
Will Smith doesn't curse. He's gonna clean his rap. It's so Tanjiro.
The Demon Slayer characters were to have any other animals for a pet, what would they have?
A mini alligator that walks around. Just like Florida man status. The demon would show up and be like, whoa, is that an alligator? Yeah, man.
A little tappy cat, you know?
Well, so wait, there is a cat in the show. The one that like disappears from the backpack.
I think its name starts with like an M. I always forget what it's called.
Yeah. What would you think?
A wolf. Just a straight wolf from the forest.
That's a very Genya answer.
Yeah. Just a wolf.
Either ball pythons or Japanese fighting fish.
Oh. That's a really good answer.
Wait, fish?
Fighting fish. Fish.
It's a fish, right? What did you do? You have in a fishbowl with like those motorized carts? or would you invite the demon over to your house so he could see the fish?
Look at my fish upper room. Look at
Like, is that all you wanted me to see? Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Visit an anime world like any other series, which one would you choose?
Visit what?
Anime world.
You never show up in Demon Slayer.
Oh, and like hang out there and just do stuff?
That's tough.
Yeah, what?
No taxes.
No taxes.
So animal costumes out.
That's a really good question. You wouldn't want to be in like any shonen shows.
I always say Pokemon.
I was
whenever
gonna say
get asked.
Pokemon. Yeah.
That seems like a pretty good line.
Yeah, at 10 forever. You can move out at 10 and travel the world collecting adorable little creatures.
And they fight for you.
And they fight for you.
Yeah.
You don't have to fight
And then when you
anymore.
win the fight, you get money. That's how you make a living.
You know in Pokemon, whenever Brock makes those like food for the Pokemon?
The jelly donuts.
No, not those. Just like the little like, I've always wanted to try those.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know that probably wouldn't taste good, but it looks
Yeah,
delicious.
Pokemon food looks delicious.
What if they
are?
are?
Baby, scrumptious.
Alright, so that's our answer.
Scar- yeah.
Pokemon.
Voltron, man.
Spitting.
Yeah, either Voltron or Robotech. Yeah, well,
See, my
pretty
concern with like being in anime is that you're never guaranteed to be the main character. So you can just be like a civilian. Yeah, like everybody is out there having fun, and you're just like, I wish that were me. And then your house blows up.
7 people.
And like Goku crashes through your window and destroys your house. All right, thank you.
If you were Hashira, who would you be?
Ooh. Like a real one or a made up one?
A real one.
A real one.
Who would you be?
Oh, I'd be Red Goku, man. Red Goku's my favorite.
Set your heart ablaze.
Plus, he's constantly eating, which is like the best life ever. No responsibilities except to eat.
Tasty. I have Super Ray Chase on here for a reason.
Yeah.
I would definitely pick
Tengen?
Tengen. Yeah.
I would choose Tengen too.
Yeah, Tengen's so cool.
He's awesome.
Ladies, man. This guy.
No, I didn't.
No! Not the 3 beautiful wives I would have. That's not
Wow, that's quite a defensive reaction. You gotta protest a little too much there, dude.
I want to be him because he has cool jewelry on his head.
Abilities.
No, I get it. I agree.
I was gonna say Tengen too, but I'm gonna go with Muichiro.
Oh.
So I can be Griffin Burns sitting in a beanbag, like you know how all of his sessions are. And he's like mist breathing. No, that's too loud.
Too loud.
Mist. No, that's still too loud. Mist breathing. That's it. Perfect. That's the take.
Thank you.
The good thing about like working with such great, nice people is that like you tend to become fans of each other as well, and then become friends. Like, and it's almost inevitable because you'll see them at some point in whether it's at a con like this or like passing by in the studio, you'll see them. So it's a cool like community that you can like build with each other, and like then that's how you become friends. You guys go hang out or get lunch, or you can confide in them about things that go on in the industry and things like that. Yeah, I cried in Alex Lee's really strong shoulders.
Like in the whole show, like have you made any like direct friends that you like?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's not here, but we hang out. Well, I hang out with Ray all the time. We had a burger eating contest once.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
I've been to Alex's house.
Yeah.
A couple times. It's pretty
Greg
nice.
and I, we've hung out too before. We've done a few nights where we just chill in his cool backyard. His awesome backyard.
I want to chill in Greg's cool, awesome backyard.
Well, you're all invited.
Okay, and that's how that
There we
happens.
go. So now I'm
That's how
going to be in Greg's backyard.
But honestly, if I had the time and the bandwidth, I would love to. I'm trying to invite people over more often. Todd Appicorn and I, we talk a lot. Todd and I are pretty close. But I like, Kirk Thornton the other day. I said, Kirk, come over and have a beer with me, right? So, we're all so busy because it's such a hustle, this business and stuff.
Yeah.
But when we do have time, I do like calling people out for coffee. Abby and I have hung out, had coffee and stuff. So it's just whoever, pops to mind, and when you have a free moment, whoever's sort of top of mind, you just reach out and try to make it happen.
That's a nice question.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What would probably be the scariest demon to run into in real life?
Ooh, from the show, the scariest demon to run into in real life. Probably Muzan, honestly. Because you wouldn't even know he's a demon. You just like run into some guy, and if you forget to say sorry, he'll like skin you alive.
You might kill you even if you do say sorry.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, it's no problem. Turns around and your skin is just gone. You're like, oh, that's awesome.
No, it was my fault. Don't worry, you're fine.
And then your leg's falling on your shoulders. Muzan just like indiscriminately kills. I think that these other demons are like, I want to fight a strong demon slayer.
Or they're just like goofy and silly, like, yeah, I'm the arm demon. And Muzan's just there, I'm like, I'm gonna kill you. That's alright.
That's the logic.
I wanted to ask if you're familiar with like playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons? Yeah!
I have never played it.
I've never played either.
I've played.
I was super into it when I was younger, and now I just don't have time. I would love to do it.
I wanted to ask if your character was in Dungeons and Dragons, what class would they be?
What class would they be?
Ooh, Genya would be a monk. Who's chanting, right? And he'd be like a monk. What's the
Bless you.
like a monk, bless you, rogue, the combined class. He'd be like a monk rogue.
I see.
Multi-class, yeah.
I think Zenitsu would be a bard.
He would be a bard. I believe that.
He's got that.
I think Tanjiro.
What would he be?
I think Tanjiro would be a paladin because he's very like nice and holy and good.
And Muzan would be a lawful evil cleric. It's a good cover, you know. Yeah, I can mix potions when they ask him questions.
Thank you.
Do the Nezuko chant scream.
Okay. Everybody guess what?
Have you ever considered being a heavy metal?
Doing Zenitsu's voice is doing Masher's voice in Vacation.
Well, it was that's what I was saying. People would come up to me during the Swordsmith Village, and they're like, "I'm so sorry you're not in this season." I'm like, "No, it's okay. this is my year off. This is my vacation year." Yeah. No, working on MASH was really fun, but actually, I think working on MASH was much harder than Demon Slayer because there's a lot of things like whenever you just do like a monotone delivery, it's very hard to nail the comedy. So it takes a lot more like focus and skill to like try to figure out how to make moments funny when you're like limited to talking like this. So that was a lot harder, but yeah, it was a nice break from screaming. That much is true. Thank you for the question.
Who's your favorite character, but it can't be you?
Oh, who's your favorite character?
Favorite character can't be.
It's Inosuke. I love him because he's
Inosuke's
crazy.
hard to be. I love that whenever we have a scene with him that's indoors, he's always just doing whatever. He crashes through the window, he's on the ceiling. He's hard to be. He's hard to be.
I'm a big Tanjiro fan. I think Tanjiro is so cool. I think he's so nice. And I really admire him.
Hey, Goku for life.
Goku!
If Muzan was called Michael Jackson, what would he do?
If he was called Michael Jackson,
If what?
If Muzan was called Michael Jackson by anyone, anyone.
If anybody called Muzan Michael Jackson, what would he do?
Are you Michael Jackson?
Oh, he would just like claw.
Right, even if they were like a really sweet little girl that came up to me and was like,
Oh, are you Michael Jackson, Mr.
You don't think he would hee-hee?
And if you go, beat it.
Amazing question to end on. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone.